Speaking of comments, we have lots to say about Arizona State, winners of the Big 12. Give us a rundown on them.
Yeah, Arizona State was a great story in college football as a whole this year. They only went 3-9 last year in Kenny Dillingham's first season down there, and this year they were picked to finish last in the conference preseason. And lo and behold, they ended up winning the conference, came with that close of beating Texas in the playoffs, and finished number 7 in the country. Just a really, really good transition year into a new conference for Arizona State. What are your thoughts on Arizona State, bro?
Yeah, I thought they had an amazing year. Like you said, being picked to finish last in the Big 12 and winning the whole damn thing. I mean, that's a feat in itself. I thought the emergence of Kenny Dillingham was interesting because he showed up and man, did he have some swagger about him. Like he is fired up. He's a high energy, in your face coach, and that worked for them. And the team kind of embodied that mentality.
Yeah, he's a really good story too. If you don't know much about him, he actually grew up there in Tempe. And he grew up, he said jokingly that he could see the stadium from his house growing up. He grew up an Arizona State fan, and he came back home to take over a program that was kind of down in the dumps, headed to a new conference, and has immediately found success. They got off to a good start. They had wins over Kansas and Utah early in the season after playing some bad competition, but then they had a couple of head scratcher of losses in there too. They lost to Texas Tech and they lost to Cincinnati before getting hot again at the end of the year and kind of closing it out strong, particularly in that last 6-game stretch where they were winning every week. They had 3 wins over ranked opponents, and the big one was the 45-19 beatdown of Iowa State in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, and they had some other great stories along the way too. Sam Levitt was really, really good, and the big one being Cam Scatabo, just a monster in the backfield that no one really knew about until near the end of the season when he started getting some more national games in the Big 12 championship and made a huge impact in the playoffs.
He had an absolutely ridiculous season. Like, just looking at the stats, you're like, wow, this dude was really almost everything for this team. The guy had 1,700 yards rushing, 21 rushing touchdowns. He also had 605 receiving yards on 45 catches and 3 more touchdowns receiving, 24 total touchdowns, and he even threw a touchdown pass in the playoff game.
Scatabo killed it in that game. He led the team in rushing and receiving in that game against Texas, against an elite defense.
Right.
It's not just some, wet paper towel type of defense. Texas has a legit defense, and they could not stop him. He's just impressive.
Yeah. They were the number 4 seed because they were a conference champion, got the bye into the playoff, went up against Texas. Everybody was like, Texas is going to kill them. Texas did not kill Arizona State. They got out to a lead, and Arizona State fought and fought and fought. Got back. They got the game to overtime. They probably actually should have won the game because of a bad call that didn't give them a chance to win. There was a no call on that should have been called for targeting, and it wasn't.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that call would have set them up to get a field goal to win the game at the end of regulation. But they ended up losing in double overtime. Texas beats them 39-31. But, overall, just an amazing season for Arizona State. First year in the conference, picked to finish dead last, wins the conference, makes some noise in the playoffs. You've got a young rising coach in Kenny Dillingham. Just a great year overall. In terms of giving them a grade for this season, I don't think you can ask for much more. They didn't make it to the Natty. They didn't win a Natty, but their expectations, like I said, were last in the conference. So for that, I gave them an A.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I gave them an A as well. Same reason. They're picked last in the conference. They win it, and they come so close to knocking off Texas in the playoff game and advancing. which would have been wild. Like that would have been probably the biggest upset in the playoffs. So I give them an A, just a great story, great, phenomenal year. As far as their record goes, they get an A minus. And so for the Nitro Show 2024 grade for the Arizona State Sun Devils is an A minus.